Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Nomadic Timbo and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to talk to you about how solo traveling can really improve your mental strength. So let's just get straight into it. Well, let me start off by saying that, as I mentioned in previous videos before, I started solo traveling because I wanted to go to Australia for 1 year to do a working holiday visa. The reality is that it was kind of an escape though. And even though that's why a number of young people go traveling to begin with, it's not really, well, I mean, there's no right or wrong reason to do it, but I think if you just have like a natural curiosity about the world and you just want to experience different cultures and different people and everything else, which is what I did, admittedly, but in the beginning though, it was just kind of like a way to escape from what I felt was a procession back at home. Not that it was a bad thing or anything. I mean, I still had a nice life. It's just that there just needed to be a new chapter, you know? It was just a way of like wanting to kind of like challenge myself, I guess. And yeah, that's exactly what happened in the end, which led to becoming stronger mentally. So, what ways did I become stronger mentally by solo traveling? Well, it was kind of a variety of different experiences really, but all of them equate to a similar thing where you get put into a situation, whether you volunteer to do it or not, and it can really test you to the max. And what you find out when you go through those kind of situations is that when you come through them, not only excuse me, not only does it feel like a great sense of accomplishment, but yeah, you just feel as though you've mentally hardened up as well as physically. Because like in Australia, for example, I did farming, fruit picking, and when it came to farming in particular, there were a variety of different jobs that I was doing, which were very physically demanding, particularly in 35 to 40 degree heat, you know. But yeah, even though it was kind of tough, I could see that I was doing a pretty good job. And when I had the feedback from my employers, something just happened. Something really amazing happened. I just really thought to myself, wow, I didn't realize I was capable of doing these kind of things, where I felt like really tested to the max. And yeah, it was just a wonderful feeling. Really awesome feeling, you know, particularly when you realize that you're capable of more things than you thought you were to begin with. So yeah, that's definitely one of the factors, and other things too. Like, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be something that's work related. It could be even activities that you don't think about doing, where, you know, or at least when, you know, you are offered to do them, you think to yourself, wow, if I end up doing this activity, I'm really stepping out of my comfort zone. But then I think what really helps is that while you're traveling, I think you get more of an instinct to think to yourself, come on, just give it a try. You never know, you might end up loving it. And I can definitely say, guys, that more than 90% of the time, that's definitely been the case. And what's so great about that is that, well, not only about the activities, but also going back to the working aspect, like I mentioned earlier, it just opens up so many options for you. And not only do you know that you're capable of doing those things again if required, but also there might be some brand new things that you might come across where, again, prior to traveling alone, you might have been thinking, I'm not so sure if I can do this, you know? But then after doing multiple experiences where you prove to yourself that you are capable of doing some you know, really good things, where it might have been a little bit tough and you might have had to grind really hard in order to make sure that you did an effective job or like enjoyed the activity or something like that, then yeah, it just puts you in a really good position to try out anything, I guess. And of course, that's definitely a true indicator of becoming stronger mentally. What I will say though is even though traveling is incredible and an amazing lifestyle to live, and I've been very well, I've been overwhelmingly positive about it in my videos with good reason. I think I should give a bit of a reality check though, because obviously, just like life in general, it's not all hunky-dory. You know, it's not always smooth sailing, and you will still come across some difficult situations for a variety of reasons, you know. And the thing is that I find that when you come across difficult situations, you are much better prepared to deal with them. I mean, I'll give you an example, okay? An example has been, well, I mean, there's a few, and luckily there's not too many really, really difficult and negative situations that I've come across since I've been traveling. But one really, really challenging time has actually been quite recent since I've been here in Sri Lanka. Like, when you get a little bit older, your priorities change. I mean, you can still travel solo. I mean, I'm still doing it even after 12 years. And I'm still kind of like highly motivated, you know. But your motivations change a little bit. Like, for example, I get different satisfactions out of traveling now compared to what I used to. And yeah, it's a bit of a strange feeling, if I'm honest, because you can sense that it's like a new chapter that's happening in your life. And sometimes that's a bit of a scary situation, even if it's going from one positive to the other. But anyway, like, because I'm getting older, like, I don't want to go from place to place to place in quick succession. Not that I was really my style anyway, but I did try to see a lot of different places in, you know, a relatively short space of time. But as of late, I've really tried hard to, well, kind of fit in, if you like, into like an expat community kind of lifestyle. And one thing I will say is that before I started solo traveling, I got into bad habits of, you know, just being a bit of a people pleaser, you know what I mean? And just worrying about fitting in. And then after traveling for a while, those feelings kind of like went away a little bit. Not that, I mean, I still consider myself a caring person. I mean, that's definitely a good quality to have. But sometimes you can go overboard with it, where you actually, you know, compromise your authenticity. So, and like, particularly over the, well, not so much as of late, but maybe about a few months ago, for like a space of 3 months or 4 months or something like that, because I wanted to fit in so badly to an expat community, unfortunately I got back into the bad habits of being in the people-pleasing kind of mentality, you know, and then I was starting to lose my authenticity. So what I will say is that even though traveling is amazing, don't be naive, because you will still go through signs of adversity sometimes where you're severely tested and you might feel like you're not quite on top of the world as you have been on previous occasions since you've been, you know, doing solo traveling. But the point that I'm trying to make is that because of what you know that you're capable of after all of these experiences, it kind of helps you get through them. But not only that too, but it actually makes you explore a few different things as well. Like, I've really been trying to educate myself, for example, on a couple of different subjects that I didn't really look into before, like psychology and like philosophy and stuff like that. And that's really helped. So then that comes with open-mindedness about solo traveling as well, you know. And now the thing is, even though I went through this particular situation where I was scared about losing my authenticity, there was never a moment where I thought, man, I'm in really, really big trouble here. Never did I think that there's a possibility I may not recover from this, because I knew that because of all of the experiences that I've had while traveling alone, I knew that that was going to get me out of, you know, this particular situation, and that's exactly how it's turned out. So yeah, the message that I'm just trying to get across, guys, is that, you know, I know, again, like I've said in previous videos, I know there's many of you who are thinking about doing this, but, and yes, I mean, COVID is obviously making things a little bit difficult at the moment, but when you don't have hurdles in the way, go for it. I know it's a very simple way of putting it, but really, guys, take that leap of faith and go for it. I mean, even if you're not necessarily interested in sightseeing or cultures and stuff like that, I mean, even just traveling alone, just to build your mental strength, even if that's like the main reason, that's a really, really good reason to do it, because, you know, you're doing very, very effective self-development, and that's going to put you in a really, really good position then as you could keep on going forward. And as I mentioned already, you meet so many cool people while you travel as well, which is the best thing about it, arguably, at least in my opinion anyway. And yeah, you just come out a much stronger person, guys. And yeah, you realize that you're capable of doing so many good things, and it actually gives you a lot of self-belief in pursuing like certain dreams even that you were thinking, oh, you know, I'd love to do this, but I can't. I mean, you know, it's out of reach or something like that. Maybe it is, who knows. But if you try really, really hard, but also just keep your mind focused on, you know, many, many different options at the same time, like having plan B, C, D and stuff like that, no reason why you can't do it, seriously. And if you don't achieve it, then at least you have backup plans, and at least you know that by taking that journey, you've really, really grown as a human being in general. So yeah, I think I'll just wrap it up there, guys. I just wanted to get that message across that solo traveling is definitely, at least in my experience, one of the most effective ways to make you stronger mentally. And yeah, I really seriously encourage you all to do it. All of you guys who are thinking about, you know, exploring the world anyway. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, stay safe, and I'll see you guys again soon. Ciao.